How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video, and today going to go over which Demi-God is the best. This is basically an updated list, and I kind of touched on this in a previous video, and I thought, why not go ahead and just see how they rank in today's meta. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day as always, and of course, if you enjoyed today's video, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you are new. Now, in the number 5 spot, I do have the Tech Golden Frieza, and I have multiple reasons as to why he belongs in this particular spot, but it kind of involves some of the units on the other that are higher up on the list, obviously. So I'm gonna try to be as discreet as possible when it comes to like the rankings, but yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard not to spoil who is in the number 4 spot and such. But of course, the leader skills for the Demi-Gods have never really been that relevant. Of course, at the time, they were some of the better leader skills in the game because it provided a 100% stat increase to a particular type, but it was never really that good because it didn't provide key, and it wasn't sufficient. Most of these units weren't that great. It's not that they weren't that great, but in comparison to the actual God leads, they were missing something. They had the leader skill, but they didn't quite have what the God leads themselves provided. But immense damage, greatly lowers defense, damage reduced by 70%, and he gets a 70% attack increase when health is 50% or above. He has the universe's most malevolent, strongest clan in space, shocking speed, revival, resurrection F, super god combat, as well as the fierce battle link. He has a 12 key multiplier of 135%. Now, this card is on one of the better categories in the game, which of course is Resurrected Warriors. Now provides a 170% attack increase, which at the moment is the biggest attack increase in the game when it comes to elite. Of course, you have Patara and the fusion categories that do this as well. So obviously, Resurrection, or the Resurrected Warrior category, is up there in terms of offensive increases. But ultimately, the thing that drags the Golden Frieza down is that he has that restriction on the passive, which may not necessarily be a bit of an issue on the best possible teams. But if we are taking a look at some of the weaker teams, that is where it may start to become an issue. Because the moment you drop below 50%, the moment his passive isn't activated, he is dead weight. And when it comes to modes like Super Battle Road, he's going to kind of struggle there, because if his passive isn't active, he's just going to, take the hits on. And granted, this isn't taking, into account the potential system buffs and such, but I still think that he belongs in the last spot. If I'm not mistaken, he was in the last spot when it came to my previous list as well. And I believe I did it with D3. So Golden Frieza remains in that last spot. He is solid, but we have the new Golden Frieza. You have the Agility Golden Frieza, who is ultimately going to be better at tanking. But his damage potential, or what he provides with his damage, honestly, isn't that big of a deal. And it's not like the Final Form Cooler is on his category anyway, so his link set for the most part isn't necessarily the greatest. He is going to share a lot of links with the Angel Golden Frieza, of course, but you have, like I said, the Agility Golden Frieza that does that already. You have the Meta Cooler that provides a attack increase with his passive anyway, so there are multiple better options for the Resurrected Warrior team, pardon me. And if we are to take a look at the team from an optimal standpoint, you have 3 legendary rares that you're going to try to keep in rotation anyway. So it's like, he does have the tanking potential there. Like I said, if you are really looking for a tank, then of course the Agility Golden Frieza is going to be better. And he isn't even a Dokkan Fest exclusive, so he is much easier to obtain. But ultimately, I still feel like he is the weakest one of the bunch. It's not to say that he is bad, but he definitely hasn't aged well. So many things could have changed that, well, they could have changed, pardon me, that could have made him way better, but he still comes in this number 5 spot. Now, when it comes to the number 4 spot, I do have Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. And the reason I say this is because he ultimately just doesn't have the damage output that allows him to truly succeed in being in that number 1 spot. And he aged very badly. It mostly comes down to the flat out attack increase and of course the flat out defensive increase, even though the defensive increase isn't that big of a deal. But he has an incredible link set. But one thing that some of the other units have that this particular Super Saiyan Blue Goku doesn't have is they have way more attack links. We spoke about this before. Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta have one of the best partnerships on that particular team because of how many attack links they share. And when it comes to which Super Saiyan Blue Goku is the best, out of the 3 main ones, which of course is this one, we have the other Agility Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and of course the STR Super Saiyan Blue Goku that awakened recently. it's between that STR one and the Super Saiyan Blue one, the other Super Saiyan Blue one, just because of that percentage increase and of course the links that they have as well. But I think for the most part, when it comes to the STR one and Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, they have kind of the same attack links, but overall, he is still going to be hitting harder just because he does have that percentage increase. It's not to say that Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken is bad by any means, but when it comes to how good he is in his current meta, he is definitely behind a few of the other units on the list. And it's a shame really, because he could have been a unit that lasted so long in this particular meta. Like, just changing that 20,000% or 20,000 flat out attack increase to 100% would have made such a big difference, because he already has a decent link set. He has a 12 key multiply of 50%, immense damage, crazy high attack stat. Just, he has so many good things going for him, but ultimately they just shafted him with that flat out attack increase, which is a bit of a shame. And now I definitely feel like this is the spot that is going to be debated the most, like 4th and 3rd place. But when it comes to the physical Goku Black, and of course this is talking about the best version of him, which is the global version, he gives us the 3 key to extreme types. Now, I want to point out that every single unit here causes immense damage. They all have a 12 key multiply of 140% apart from Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. But ultimately, I feel like Goku Black belongs in the 3rd spot just because of that ability to give the 3 key to extreme types. And when it comes to his damage potential, you wouldn't expect it to be that high because he is getting flat out attack increase like the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. But one of the things that actually pushes him above the majority of the units here is that he has an absolutely incredible link set that provides him with so many offensive increases. He gets a 10% attack increase from Nightmare, 25% from Big Bad Bosses, Kamehameha, 2500, Fierce Battle, 15%. He is getting so many increases from these links alone, and he is on the Potara category, which provides a 170% attack increase, like we mentioned before. Golden Frieza is on a category like that. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken's best category is Realm of Gods, which is 150%. So Goku Black is getting that additional 40% overall, which is going to make a difference when it comes to their damage output. So when it comes to damage output so far, Goku Black is definitely, I think he definitely belongs in his 3rd place. Granted, it's going to be kind of inconsistent because he is a nuker, but the attack links alone are going to push him to a level, to a certain level, even without collecting a certain amount of orbs. He can easily get into the millions if you manage to activate every single one of those attack links. I'm pretty certain that Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken can get to the millions as well, but obviously you are going to need a kind of a specific setup. It depends on support units and such. If you're linking him up with the right units, are you going to be able to link him up with a unit that has the Warrior Gods link consistently? You know, things like that. When it comes to Goku Black and the villain team, when it comes to Goku Black and just the Potara team and the Realm of Gods team, you're going to find multiple units with all of these links. Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, LR Black, Zamasu. So it's not that much of an issue for Goku Black to activate the majority of his good links in comparison to, you know, maybe Goku with Warrior Gods. And Warrior Gods is a pretty big link when it comes to increasing his overall damage potential. But I'm pretty certain that both of these units can consistently get into the millions. Goku Black may edge it on certain occasions just because he is a nuker, like I said, and of course because he does have a higher attack stat overall, and because he has better attack links. Now, in 2nd place, we have Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. He is still an incredible unit, but ultimately, he kind of... Now we have Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta in the 2nd spot, and this is definitely a bit of a tougher one, but I think I made the right decision when it comes to which one is actually better between Vegeta, and obviously the next one is going to be Cell. So, causes immense damage and raises attack for 3 turns, 100% attack increase. Extreme type enemies attack and defense goes down by 20%, so it's not bad. It's not a debuff that, you know, lasts for 3 turns. It's something that activates when he is on the field, which is pretty dope, I guess. Link skills: Super Saiyan, Saiyan, Warrior Race, Warrior Gods, again that Warrior God link popping up again. Royal Lineage, Prepared for Battle, and the Fierce Battle links. So he does have a decent amount of attack links as well. But again, it comes down to the fact whether or not you can activate these particular links. Super Saiyan and Fierce Battle, you're going to be able to activate pretty consistently. But Warrior Gods, Prodigies, are you actually going to sacrifice a spot to run units like the Zamasu? You know, and when it comes to LR Beerus, his best partnership is going to be the Beerus. So are you going to really keep Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and LR Beerus together just for the sake of that one link? Again, it's all situational. You definitely do not want to keep LR Beerus and Vegeta paired up together because they share like one key link. Well, not even a key link. I'm pretty certain the only key, or the only link they share is the first battle link. And obviously Prodigies, which is an attack link. So 2 attack links, no key links here. So it's not exactly going to be an optimal situation for either of those units. Which most likely means that you're just going to keep Vegeta paired up with another Super Saiyan Blue unit, which would most likely be the Goku or Vegito Blue. But ultimately, he is a solid unit. There isn't too much to fault about him apart from the fact that he is now very basic in comparison to some of the other units in the game. But once they release Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, he may actually replace this one because they have a tendency, for whatever reason, to not include the Kaioken's in the names and the evolutions, but we shall see. So in the number 1 spot, the reason for this decision is, of course, he has immense damage, 100% at the start of the turn. So right now, he is on the exact same level as Vegeta. 12 key multiplier of 140%, but the biggest difference between the Vegeta and the Cell is that the Cell can get a consistent 20% attack and defensive increase for every single super attack, and not to mention he is also an STR unit, so he has a higher crit ability. He has an incredible link set as well. Big Bad Boss is 25%, Kamehameha 2500, Nightmare 10%, Fierce Battle 15%, all of which are going to be consistently activated on the Resurrected Warrior team, which is a 170% attack increased team, which of course is a bit higher than the Realm of Gods 150. So ultimately he is going to be hitting harder than the Vegeta. He doesn't have the debuff that the Vegeta has, but he is going to be hitting harder because of the way that his super attack mechanic works, and of course because of his attack links. But to be honest, both of these guys are very close to each other. You do have Vegeta's debuff that I suppose you can kind of take into account when it comes to modes like Super Battle Road, but ultimately I do feel like Cell is a superior unit, but not by that much. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about this list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Personally, I think that this is probably the most accurate representation of where the Demi-Gods rank right now. You can maybe... see, I'm not a big fan of the Frieza. I've never been a big fan of the Frieza. And because of the way that the game is now, I think he belongs in the number 5 spot. Kaioken Goku, one of the best link sets in the game when it comes to key links, but it doesn't even matter that much nowadays. So he just kind of, like, both of these guys get shafted by the fact that they have flat out attack increases. But at the very least, Goku Black does have the Potara category and incredible attack links backing him. Vegeta, just another solid unit. And of course we have the Cell as well. But like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know as always. And I will see you all in the next one.